This presentation provides a technical overview of VMware vSAN up to and including vSAN 8 Update 2. Traditional three-tier architectures have been powering data centers for many years, but have been hampered by fundamental limitations, including the use of proprietary hardware and the need for special teams to manage specific aspects of the architecture. A hyperconverged architecture can remove dependencies from hardware feature sets. By abstracting these features away from the underlying hardware, you can address and apply the right settings in the right way for each workload running in a data center. As organizations seek compatibility with various public or private cloud ecosystems, the necessity to implement these configurations meticulously through software is rapidly becoming a requirement. How organizations provide services to support the customers and business processes is changing rapidly. Not only are applications changing, but so are the options in how and where to best provide these services. Should it be on-premises, in the cloud, or both? The industry is demonstrating that the combination of the two serves the most use cases. But how does one create a combination of the two using a common set of tools? This hybrid cloud can be achieved with VMware. Let's see how. Infrastructure administrators are faced with a few very specific, challenging dilemmas. First, they don't get to choose how the applications they're responsible for are built. Whether they're traditional applications using common OS and application stacks, or modern applications using containers, one must have a platform flexible enough to accommodate these applications and workloads. Next is the myriad of options on infrastructure types that applications may need to prefer to run on. Can it be hosted in a private cloud, or does it need to run in a public cloud? With VMware's portfolio of cloud products, we make this decision simple and easy for infrastructure architects. When a customer modernizes their data center to run VMware vSphere using vSAN, they have an end-to-end software-defined solution to serve as the core platform for all of their needs. Running VMware Cloud Foundation provides all of the necessary tools to deliver a cloud infrastructure on-premises. One can then use one of the many public or partner cloud offerings that's powered by this very same suite of VMware software to provide an enterprise hybrid cloud using VMware products, software that you already know. This full-stack HCI can be achieved through VMware Cloud Foundation when powered by vSAN. So why is hyperconverged through VCF better than traditional approaches? Simple. The end-to-end solution that a vSAN-powered VCF environment provides improves on the three pillars of data center management: deployment, operation, and optimization. Data centers are not static. As the demands of the application and the users that need them evolve, so should the environment that powers it. Historically, this has been difficult. This new approach transforms the challenges of legacy architectures so that deployment is fast and tailored to an organization. Operations can be formed in an outcome-oriented manner through the use of policies. The value of a solution comes from far more than just how fast it is to deploy, as ongoing changes are the norm for a data center. VMware's approach follows a maxim often used in the world of fast-paced software development: design as if you know it's going to change. First, let's quickly review what VMware offers. VMware's platform offers the levels of flexibility required for today's rapidly changing needs. It's built off of a foundation of VMware vSphere paired with vSAN. This provides the basis for a fully software-defined storage and virtualization platform that removes dependencies from legacy solutions using physical hardware. Next is VMware Cloud Foundation, the integrated solution that provides the full stack of tools for an automated private cloud. And finally, there's VMware solutions for the public cloud. VMware is partnered with industry-leading cloud providers that offer services based on VMware Cloud Foundation. This offers customers to build a hybrid cloud using public and private assets on a common substrate of management and tools for consistent infrastructure operations. In on-premises environments, where a customer will be utilizing purchased hardware and software, the way that vSAN is delivered to a customer is dependent on whatever suits their needs best. This is why the power of choice is so important. Some want to simplify purchasing, deployment, and management with single SKUs, and this is where VxRail comes into play. Others may have a preference of server vendor and would like to maintain that consistency as they adopt vSAN. This is where vSAN Ready nodes can be a great option. These consumption models provide a comprehensive range of options tailored to best suit the needs of organizations' requirements. Extending manageability to the cloud is the natural progression and evolution of VMware's product line. This evolution is represented in vSphere Plus and vSAN Plus, where we bring some of the administrational benefits of the cloud to on-premises workloads. Let's take a look at how and why VMware vSAN is the common substrate for a hybrid cloud environment. vSAN provides shared storage by aggregating locally attached disks in a vSphere cluster to create a storage solution that can be provisioned and managed from vCenter. vSAN is built inside of the hypervisor. It integrates with the entire VMware stack, including features like vMotion, HA, and DRS. VM storage provisioning and day-to-day management of storage SLAs can all be controlled through VM-level policies that can be set and modified on the fly. vSAN delivers enterprise-class features, scale, and performance, making it the ideal storage platform for VMs. The tremendous efficiency of vSAN means that it can run more VMs per host than other HCI systems not integrated into the hypervisor. Not only that, but with more consistent levels of performance and tighter integration. This ability to scale up and out, often not possible in the same way when using storage arrays, means that users can strategically design their vSAN-powered cluster to accommodate growth that best reflects the needs of their organization. VMware vSAN uses a data placement approach that is most analogous to an object store. VMs that live on vSAN storage are comprised of a number of storage objects, which can be thought of as a boundary of data. This data is placed across hosts in the cluster to ensure the resilience of that data. What makes vSAN so powerful is that the administrator simply applies a storage policy to one or many VMs that define the outcome or the desired level of resilience, and vSAN takes care of the rest. In the example shown here, we see a VM with an associated storage policy of a level of failures to tolerate equaling 1, or FTT1, using RAID 1 data mirroring technique. This creates 2 copies of the data and a tiny piece of metadata on a third host known as a witness component. The witness simply helps vSAN determine availability during failure conditions. With this object-based approach to storage, vSAN determines the placement of data on the assigned storage policy. Whether the cluster has 3 hosts or 30 hosts, the policy or outcome defines the desired result and will place and manage the data to ensure adherence to that policy. The vSAN Express storage architecture provides a new way for vSAN to process and store data efficiently. A new fast and efficient data path paired with an efficient and resilient data structure give our users the ability to store and access data fast and efficiently. The Express storage architecture also introduces new capabilities such as lightning-fast snapshot engine and new levels of storage efficiency. And finally, the vSAN Express storage architecture makes administering an environment simpler by improving how devices contribute as a storage resource to the cluster. While ESA offers revolutionary improvements, this optional architecture is built right into the same software you already know. How does the vSAN storage architecture compare with the classic storage architecture of vSAN? At a high level, the original storage architecture of vSAN was a 2-tier architecture designed to accommodate a widely ranging set of older storage devices. While the vSAN Express storage architecture in vSAN 8 is a single-tier architecture optimized for high-performance NVMe-based TLC flash devices for both on-premise environments and for public cloud hyperscalers. With vSAN 8, VMware gives you the opportunity to select which architecture best suits your existing hardware, while allowing you to deploy new clusters with unprecedented levels of performance. While the vSAN Express storage architecture is the future of vSAN, VMware customers should take great comfort that the original storage architecture of vSAN can be used side by side with the ESA and will be supported for many years to come. The power of vSAN ESA can be fully realized when sizing a vSAN cluster to deliver services for a given number of VMs. Compared to the vSAN original storage architecture, the vSAN ESA allows customers to run more workloads on fewer hosts, which can dramatically reduce the total cost of ownership. In VMware's published TCO paper on vSAN ESA, A configuration example is provided that showed 39% fewer hosts in a cluster when using the ESA versus the original storage architecture. vSAN supports all different types of workloads and topologies. Run business-critical applications alongside other applications, or carve out clusters focused on specific application requirements. Whether they be VDI workloads, business-critical workloads, cloud-native applications, or common IT service workloads. Not only can you easily meet the needs of the application, but the flexibility of the architecture allows you to deliver these services in many different ways. House them in a central data center, or perhaps a stretch cluster that spans 2 physical sites. Maybe an organization has several branch offices, or perhaps they want the flexibility to expand resources by using the cloud. vSAN can meet all of these demands and more, all by using a single management plane, vCenter Server. vSAN offers a number of data services to help you address your organization's unique requirements. While vSAN can run hundreds of VMs per host in a vSAN cluster, additional data services are available to extend the functionality of vSAN. Take, for example, the vSAN iSCSI target service, where you can create an iSCSI target on vSAN so that a legacy physical server running an application can mount that iSCSI volume. Or perhaps your organization needs file services. vSAN File Services offers the ability to create SMB and NFS shares to work with both traditional and cloud-native workloads. vSAN also offers native S3 compatible object storage. This comes through the use of third-party certified solutions as part of the VMware vSAN Data Persistence Platform, or DPP. And finally, vSAN offers the ability to ensure the highest levels of security through data at rest encryption and data in transit encryption offerings. All of this adds up to a highly flexible, robust, and secure storage solution. Now let's take a look at how vSAN simplifies the management experience of running on-premises, in the cloud, or running a hybrid cloud. Doesn't it make sense to control storage resources on a per VM basis in the hypervisor, just as you do for CPU and memory? Traditional storage solutions can't offer this level of control, but vSAN can. Levels of protection and performance are no longer reliant upon the capabilities of an external storage system, but will now be controlled and managed by the hypervisor. A user defines the outcome desired and applies it to a VM, VMDK, first-class disk for container persistent volumes, and even file shares powered by vSAN File Services. All of this easily managed inside of vCenter. Storage Policy-Based Management, or SPBM, is extremely easy to implement. Using storage policies are as simple as defining the requirements for your VMs, creating a policy that represents those requirements, and then applying the policy to one or more of your VMs. The VM will adopt the new performance and protection settings without any downtime. One can change the characteristics of an existing policy, and the VMs will adopt the most recent settings of that policy non-disruptively. These policies can be applied to VMDKs, VMs, first-class disks for containers, and file shares served up by vSAN File Services. SPBM is about ease and agility. Traditional architecture models relied heavily on the capabilities of an independent storage system in order to meet protection and performance requirements of workloads. Unfortunately, the traditional model was overly restrictive in part because standalone hardware-based storage solutions were not VM aware and were limited in their abilities to unique settings to various workloads. Storage policy-based management lets you define requirements for VMs or collections of VMs that can be used with vSAN as well as storage arrays using vVols. Therefore, a common approach to managing and protecting data can be employed regardless of the backing storage. In addition to traditional vSAN clusters, the power of vSAN also extends its capabilities in supporting different types of topologies. A core characteristic of vSAN is flexibility. It is the flexibility that allows vSAN to power workloads of all types using topologies that best fit the requirements of an organization. Whether it be a single-site data center, a multi-site data center requiring high availability, or at the edge, vSAN is the platform that can provide all your storage needs. vSAN can not only run on-premises in a variety of configurations, but can also run just as easily in the cloud, ensuring that you have a common platform across all environments. And lastly, vSAN Max provides the ability to provision storage-only clusters, meaning that you can take advantage of all the benefits of HCI while using vSAN to provide a dedicated storage cluster for your other vSphere clusters. vSAN takes the concept of fault domains to protect an environment spanning two physical sites from downtime in the event of a site failure. vSAN's ability to provide a fully active stretch cluster has already proven its value in data centers. vSAN provides the capability for storage redundancy within a site and across sites at the same time. This helps deliver effective, affordable protection against entire site outages, as well as host outages within a site. This level of protection is extraordinary and what many of our customers have asked for. Lower TCO is the result of no need to purchase additional hardware or software while addressing protection requirements within the software you already know. The flexibility of vSAN's topology also extends to small remote or edge sites. Easily deploy a highly cost-effective two-node cluster to store data resiliently while also managing it centrally. This makes for a fast, affordable, and flexible management and delivery of services in environments that require this type of topology. Additionally, vSAN Robo Edition licensing has no host limit restriction. There's only a restriction of the number of VMs that may be run in a site. A maximum of 25 VMs can be run in a single site or across sites. Any multiple of 25 requires an additional 25 VM pack license. It's worth noting there is no upgrade path from vSAN Robo licenses to regular CPU or desktop vSAN licenses. Fault domains are a boundary of failure. vSAN extends this concept of fault domains so that environments can protect against failures such as a rack failure. It gives an administrator the ability to 1. Determine what the logical boundary of failure should be, for example a server rack, and 2. Define a logical container that represents that boundary in the cluster. The most common way fault domains are employed are by creating fault domains that represent a rack in a data center. The vSAN data would be distributed across multiple fault domains so that in the event of a total rack failure, no system would be compromised. vSAN Max offers true scale-out storage capabilities that simply are not possible with some other dedicated storage solutions. One can easily scale out incrementally, one server at a time, to improve capacity and performance. This fine level of scalability is much easier to account for with budgeting and planning. Speaking of cost, vSAN Max can reduce your total cost of operations as well as drive down costs by up to 30% in some conditions. Not only can vSAN Max accommodate all of your shared storage needs, but it can do so with a unified, single interface for management. Administrators manage storage in the very same way they manage other vSAN clusters, meaning that vSAN Max is the software that you already know. VMware vSAN has offered levels of disaggregation in the past, but let's take a look at one of the ways that vSAN Max distinguishes itself. First, we see traditional HCI, where we're aggregating compute and storage resources into a single cluster. These resources serve as an exclusive resource of the cluster. Next, we see vSAN's first disaggregated offering, where a vSAN cluster could provide storage capacity resources to another vSAN cluster. New to vSAN 8 Update 2 is vSAN Max. This is a vSAN cluster that will not host any VM instances on the cluster, but be used exclusively for the purpose of providing shared storage to other vSphere and vSAN clusters. At a high level, vSAN Max is a cluster of vSAN hosts designed purely for the purpose of providing shared storage to other clusters. Unlike disaggregation through our vSAN HCI model, vSAN Max gives customers the ability to deploy a vSAN cluster to be used exclusively as primary storage for vSphere clusters, or augment storage for vSphere and other vSAN clusters. vSAN Max is built off of vSAN Express storage architecture, which provides all new levels of performance and efficiency and the capabilities native to the vSAN ESA. vSAN Max introduces all new benefits and use cases for our customers demanding the highest levels of flexibility and efficiency. vSAN provides tremendous flexibility in how a vSAN Max cluster is configured, but also how and what types of clusters connect to it. A vSAN Max cluster can be a traditional, single-site cluster of up to 64 hosts, or for extra resilient storage, it can be deployed as a stretch cluster using a total of 40 data hosts. Client clusters can be either a traditional vSphere cluster, known in the UI as a vSAN compute cluster, or a vSAN ESA cluster. The client clusters and the server clusters don't even need to be managed by the same vCenter server instance. And no matter what the configuration, vSAN Max transmits storage traffic to and from the client clusters using the native vSAN communication stack, which provides all of the interoperability, efficiency, and extensibility associated with vSAN. vSAN Max opens the door in helping our customers address many of their use cases in their environment. While vSAN in a traditional HCI model has been widely successful, vSAN Max helps address specific use cases for our customers, such as their desire to have centralized storage for their entire environment. Yes, vSAN Max can and should be considered for their next storage array refresh. vSAN Max can also serve to address some challenging environmental and physical limitations, such as a customer's heavy investment into blades. Employing a dedicated storage cluster via vSAN Max also empowers our customers to construct vSphere clusters in a manner that effectively minimizes their application expenses. And finally, vSAN Max can be ideal for the highly elastic scalability needs of cloud-native applications. Flexibility, efficiency, and performance would be easily lost if a solution were not easy to operate. vSAN offers comprehensive management tools to help you deploy, operate, and optimize environments. Ensuring a flexible deployment model for a vSAN-powered environment means that all types of deployment conditions must be accommodated for. vSAN provides an end-to-end guided installation and configuration experience for the initial and ongoing configuration of vSAN clusters. Easily build a cluster off of a single host and extend it through the built-in wizards. Lifecycle management is more powerful than ever before with VMware's Lifecycle Manager. VLCM is a powerful new approach to creating simplified and consistent server lifecycle management at scale. It uses an outcome-oriented declarative model that makes lifecycle management easy. Administrators responsible for the health and well-being of an environment have a lot to think about. In vSAN 8 Update 1, VMware developed an all-new cluster health status and troubleshooting dashboard. It helps answer the basic questions of, is my cluster and the workloads it serves in a healthy state? And if not, how severe is the condition? And should the issue be resolved? It provides that information that traditional health alerts alone cannot. For each vSAN cluster, the Skyline Health for vSAN will provide a quick, at-a-glance score of the condition of the cluster, so an administrator can easily determine if all is good, or if not, how impactful any identified issues are. The new mechanism uses a sophisticated method of weighing triggered health checks and aligns them with common pillars of responsibility. It will then provide the most important, impactful triggered health findings in an order of priority so that an administrator can resolve issues quickly and easily. vSAN Support Insight enables a better support experience for our customers. It helps provide VMware Global Support Services, GSS, with data about customers' vSAN and vSphere environments. This data is anonymized and then uploaded to VMware's Analytics Cloud, where it is processed and converted to useful information such as configuration specifics, performance, and health status. GSS can get to the troubleshooting effort faster when less time is spent on gathering the data. What does this mean for a vSAN customer? Faster time to resolution and a direct way to help VMware improve the product experience. Wrapping up, we've seen that vSAN is a hyper-converged platform that is built for the needs of today and tomorrow. No more proprietary storage arrays means that one can provide a compute and storage platform all through vSphere and vCenter Server. Whether the organization chooses to keep workloads on-premises, run in the cloud, or some mixture of both, vSAN can meet all these needs. And now, using vSAN 8 with Express Storage Architecture, you can do more with what you already have, using software you already know. For more information on VMware vSAN, be sure to go to core.vmware.com.